Hello everybody and welcome to Talk Jeff City. Glad you could join us this week for our second episode. Hope everybody enjoyed the first episode. We appreciated the outpouring of support and all the messages and notes that we got. We've got a great show lined up for you. We've had a lot of interesting and exciting things presented to us that we're going to be able to bring to you in future shows. We're really excited about where this is going. So I've got a question for everybody. As I do my monologue out here on High Street this week, one of the things that I'm trying to be respectful of and trying to figure out is, as I'm doing this, there's lots of people walking around hunting Pokemon. Is hunting Pokemon kind of like fishing? Do I need to be quiet or stand still as they're walking by? I'm still trying to figure it out. Just want to talk a little bit about everything that's kind of going on in the news in Jefferson City this week. Last week, Missouri and Jefferson City made national news again, and we're a trending topic online because the head of our public defender system decided to use an obscure law to appoint Jay Nixon public defender in a case here in Jefferson City. Pretty interesting concept. Nixon came out and said that he's not going to want to do that he doesn't have to. The law wasn't written that way, but you know, he really should have done the right thing and said, you know what, I will represent this guy, or I will have, take care of the representation of this guy, and every other attorney in the state do the same, and maybe that would have lessened the burden on our problem. But that's neither here nor there. It was just kind of funny. If anybody saw the Twitter rants and Facebook comments, they were pretty classic. One of my favorites was this, hypothetically for his first day in court, another attorney covering up his paper and saying, no, you can't borrow my motions. This week also saw local resident Chris Neff won another world top spinning championship. It's kind of neat to see him in action. I've read the article on there that says that he only practices about 10 minutes a day, and I'd like to question that because he's pretty darn good at what he does. If you've ever seen him do the top spinning, it's just amazing the things that he does. It's incredible. So congratulations, Chris. Thanks for bringing another world championship back to Jefferson City. If any of you have driven down West McCarty Street, you've noticed that the old bus station here in Jeff City is being transformed. And going back to last week, I just want to let everybody know that it is not the long-awaited Olive Garden, and it is not the Hooters that we've been promised here in Jeff City. But guess what it is? It is yet another pizza place here in Jefferson City. Just what we need. Pretty soon, the only restaurants in town are going to be pizza places and Mexican restaurants. Starting to thin out the variety a little bit, but congrats to Theo for opening that up. His dad's Alex from Alexandro's out on the boulevard. I'm sure it'll be a great place. But I'd like to see a little variety in town. There's plenty of places to grab a pizza anymore here in town. And in case you haven't seen that show yet, our mission with this show is to not only do fun things and have fun with people here in Jeff City, but it's also to promote community, to promote small businesses, and to do good things and talk about the positive things around Jefferson City. As you know, we're a mobile show. We get in the car, we need to go find some stuff to do, somebody to talk to here in town. So let's jump in the car and go see what we can find to do here in Jefferson City today. Well, what do we have here? We should stop and help these homeless people. Hey buddy, how long's it been since you've had a warm meal? Oh wait, it's Stumpe. Hey, how you doing? Man. Come on, jump on in here.
What are you doing downtown today?
I'll give you a ride. Well, we're just doing this little talk show.
Uh-oh.
What are you doing? Where are you walking off to?
I was heading down to the old city courthouse to get some work done.
Out getting some exercise?
Yeah, I need some. So my wife tells me to walk more.
So we'd like to thank everybody. Thank I'd like to thank Stumpe for joining us today. He's our guest this week. So, you, like I, have grown up around this town.
I have. We grew up in the same neighborhood.
I would have to say, be willing to bet that the neighborhood that we grew up in was the best neighborhood for anybody to grow up in just about ever.
It was. You know, you had Carrie Turgeon last week, and she's a West Sider now, and she's really missing the coolness of the east side of Jefferson City. We had the best sled hills in Moral Heights.
Yep.
We had the best football team in the Chargers. We had the best players in Mike Badowski and Rudy York and John Sig, and you know, we're just really fortunate. We had a very good community over there to grow up in, and great places to play and parks, and really blessed to be from where we were.
Had a lot of competitive pickup games of any kind of sport in that neighborhood too.
Yeah, I still think I'm picking out mud for my ears 30 years later from getting tackled on the baseball field. So,
well, there's many people that got injuries from that Moral Heights sledding hill too.
Yeah, they've changed it, made it a little safer these days, but not quite as much fun as it used to be. So.
Yeah, well, it's been a couple years since I've been there, but it is the best sledding hill, no doubt. I have that argument on Facebook every once in a while, every winter. Outside of that neighborhood, though, what are some of the favorite places you remember, favorite things that you did in Jeff City as a kid?
Gosh, I grew up there, lived there my whole life, and when I moved back to town after college, I moved 2 blocks away from where I grew up. But I remember going down to the Foot and playing basketball, which was always fun and competitive, and neat to see people get together there. Going to Ken's Pizza for my birthday was always a big treat. It was the cheesiest, thickest pizza in town. The Hotel Governor back in the day, playing around that place. My dad worked at the Jefferson Building, and racing people up and down the 14 stories stairs there was always a great treat as a small guy that was thin that could do that a long time ago.
Yeah, nobody would believe today that we were 2 of the scrawniest kids in our graduating class when we got out of high school.
I always tell people to guess what weight I wrestled in high school, and no one has yet guessed 98 pounds. So we've come a long way.
Yep, we're now about 3 of what we were in high school.
Indeed we are. So.
Hope you're enjoying this interview. We'll be right back after the break with more from prosecuting attorney Brian Stumpe. Quantico Video is a local video production company that specializes in making promotional videos for small businesses. We are also proud to provide our services to good causes and nonprofits such as Operation Belated Thank You, the De La Cruz Benefit Car Wash, J-Band, and Caleb McLean family. We are proud of the Jefferson City area and look for any opportunity to promote, grow, and add to our community. It is with this pride we bring to you Talk Jeff City. Odium Social, a social media marketing and management firm, provides content development and publishing across all forms of social media and specializes in the promotion of small businesses in the area. They also provide promotion for charity events such as the De La Cruz Benefit Car Wash. Odium Social is also an integral part of Small Business Mall 2016 to be held in conjunction with Small Business Saturday. So, let's talk a little bit about professional life and the day-to-day. You're now a city prosecutor for the city of Jefferson.
Yeah, I'm in my 3rd term for that right now, and going on 6 years of being the prosecutor for Jeff City and trying to, affect people's lives to make them live within the laws.
Okay. Talk about some of the things you've done. I know there's, some programs and some things you've done, to kind of help alternative type programs and so forth at the court, to make things better. Talk a little bit about those.
Well, we've got 2 unique ones we're doing right now. One is the DWI court. The average person gets their first DWI, 20% of those with their second one before long. And it appeared to be what we're doing over and over again doesn't work. So I want to start a DWI court program, a treatment court program at the city level. The problem is there's no money for that. So we went out and found a grant, developed a court program that's online that sounds unique and kind of odd, but it's been very effective. It costs the taxpayer $0, and our average recidivism rate is about 5% over 5 years, versus national average of 20%. We also have another program that we started recently where Charles Jackson, he was the first African-American high patrolman in Missouri, comes into court with me, and as we see people that they need guidance in life. I mean, not everyone grows up as we grew up with the family structure and good parenting. Some people just need a little push, a little nudge, and some direction in life. And Charles sits there, and as there's people that we recognize that have these issues and these things going on, Mr. Jackson takes them back and kind of mentors them and gives them a little stern fatherly guidance and tries to help them and to realize they need to change things that they're doing in life. And it's been effective so far. We don't know the outcome fully. It's not been long enough going on, but we're trying to take a step in that direction. Judge Walker and I have talked about if we're the municipal court for the capital city in Missouri, we should be the best municipal court in Missouri. We should be the flagship and the one doing the programs and trying to develop new and unique things that are effective and work better to reduce crime in our town.
Agree. I mean, I think there are great programs, and you have to look at those, alternative things, because as society progresses, the way we've been doing it isn't the way that seems to work. It seems to be doing it the same way, just doesn't get the job done. I've always said that growing up in the neighborhood we grew up in, there was no time for us to be hoodlums, because there was always a game, a sport, hide and seek, something going on.
Yeah.
You were up at the crack of dawn and didn't come home till somebody threatened to whoop you or ground you for a month till you did come home.
We didn't come home till we're done chasing that mosquito fog machine down the road.
I almost forgot about that thing. And we used to think that was fun.
It was a great time. Either running behind it or riding your skateboard or bike behind it and just breathing all that great fumes.
Okay, outside of the court, though, I mean, you brought up an interesting topic of, engaging people, giving them direction. Is there anything you think, like town-wise and community-wise that could happen, outside of the court to kind of to make the community better, give people a sense of community, and then, in turn, it would help with some of that stuff?
I remember when we went to high school, the Jefferson City versus Hickman rivalry. And going to a basketball game between those two teams, there was nowhere to sit in the gym. There was standing room only. People would be turned away. And that's really, it's not the case today. And I think we revolved so much around sports back then, and we've lost that. So I think the community involvement there gives us, we rally around one thing, but I don't think sports is the answer. I think what we need to rally around right now is probably our kids. There's 140 or so homeless high school kids in Jeff City right now. And what are we doing as a community to affect that? Halo is doing a great job. They're doing unique things there. Years ago, I started the truancy court with Michael Kuti here in town. And there were kids that they were always late for school. Michael said, well, we'll set 2 alarms. And it's like, well, I don't even have an alarm clock. Well, that's why you're late for school. And he went out to buy them an alarm clock, or getting people involved with kids that are at Pringer that don't have any parents or any family to take care of them. I think we could really rally around and develop that love for our kids that we experienced as children. That I think there's a lot of kids that don't have that today, and I think that would be a great thing for us to kind of develop and work around.
Again, I agree with you. And I mean, just you talking about that, I think about, some of the things that come to mind, instantly, and things I've thought of is, as a community, we've kind of disenfranchised our children in this town. I mean, like we had people in the neighborhood, that we could play with, but now it seems like they try to keep kids away from everything that's going on in the community. And I mean, I understand it to an extent, but for instance, like Thursday Night Live, the kids can't come up there, and walk around. Of course, you know, there's some drinking and so forth, but there's no real activities for them to do. You know, the mall that kids used to go to and hang out, you know, at, you know, doesn't allow kids at certain times and so forth. So, you know, those things sound silly, and that's just a little grain of sand in the bucket, but it seems like we try to alienate the kids from things to do and, you know, keeping them a part of the community.
You know, we're driving through Lincoln's campus right now, and they're building a new Boys and Girls Club here. They're building a new rec center here. But Lincoln's a great thing for us as well. It's kind of an untold and an unknown gem that we have here. That I come over here on Thursdays often and have lunch with the students, but my kids come over here a lot in the evening times, and they play football with the football players, and they get involved there, and they just have a great time. These students are often wonderful mentors to my kid. They have a different background, different stories than I have, and talk about hard work and dedication and pushing forward for things. So I think there's things out there to do for us, but they're harder to find than they were when we were younger.
Hope everybody's enjoying the show. We'll be right back after a word from a couple of our sponsors. Victory Auto Plaza at 2411 Industrial Drive not only has great vehicles for sale, but also is a proud supporter of Talk Jeff City. Owner Scott Bradshaw provided the 2013 SUV that we used for the show. The great vehicle was detailed by Doug's Auto Detailing at 2421 Industrial Drive. See them for all your vehicle needs. You have an old piece of furniture that looks outdated and in need of some life? Did you see an idea online, you started it, but it's still sitting in the garage 6 months later? Projects with Style can take your furniture and make it new again. Whether it's a solid color or antiqued look, they can breathe fresh air into it. Find them on Facebook to see the possibilities. If you've seen it on Pinterest, they can help you get it done. Well, we pulled up outside here. This is one of our other adventures, and the cause that we're kind of championing this week is looking a little scruffy there. I mean,
Well,
you got pulled back in a ponytail. I mean,
well, yeah. If I don't, I have very curly hair that's kind of wiry, like a steel wool factory exploded.
I mean, the only thing I could think of is, I was trying to figure out if you and Dan Dodson were having a contest to see who could have the longest hair for an attorney in town anymore.
It's a very close race. We checked just yesterday to see who had the longest hair, and we're within a half inch of one another. And you took me to a barber shop, I see.
Yeah, we pulled up outside Tanner's Barber Shop, so let's go in here and see if maybe we can get you cleaned up a little bit, look a little respectable. I mean, if you're going to represent Jeff City.
Is he a barber or a magician? So.
Well, I said that about the makeup artist that did the makeup for me, you know.
Well, you look quite nice.
You have to be a magician. All right, well, let's go inside here and check this out.
All right.
Norm!
Hi. What's up, buddy? I'm here for the best shave in town.
You're about the only shave in town.
It is the only shave in town.
Yeah. I don't think anybody else is doing it. At least nobody else is going to do it for you.
No, too much space.
So how long's it been since you cleaned up?
A long, long time. Took the junior year of high school. Am I pretty yet?
I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm going to have
What's
to
the name
dig
of
out
that
a whole
plastic?
different box of tools for that.
Yeah, what's the name of that plastic surgeon out on Industrial or Truman?
We might be able to find you a business card. We might be able to Google Con Cannon or something like that.
Where did you learn to do these straight razor shaves?
No, I just wait for big woolly guys like you to come in. No, actually, I went to Missouri School of Barbering up in Florissant, and what they would do up there is they'd offer once a week. They'd offer free shaves. Didn't matter if ever I'd have bums and winos and all kinds of guys just come in there. They'd encourage, so the students could get opportunity doing facial shaves and stuff like that. They just once in a while they, charge, and pretty much cut a lot of faces, went through a lot of Band-Aids, still go through a lot of boxes of Band-Aids, so I'll just go ahead and apologize in advance.
I told him yesterday that we were the two skinniest, scrawniest kids in high school when we
I
graduated.
just could not believe that.
Guess what weight he wrestled?
My mouth a little bit. What weight?
Yes.
Guess?
I was 2 inches short.
Okay, I would say that you probably, that can be, wrestling's a hard gig to, I'll say that you were, 146.
98 pounds.
Really?
I wrestled Dave Gainey and Travis Reich in high school.
Oh my God, you wrestled Gainey?
Yep.
We should do the rest of the interview like this.
Yeah. That is so much better. I like it too. What do you think, Joe?
Now you got prettier. So what do you put on my face right now?
Well, we put a little pre-shave oil on there, and then actually the aftershave balm actually works very well to go on before you start shaving, because shaving irritates the face. And an aftershave balm actually has anti-inflammatories and stuff in it.
Hey, Brian, your wife might actually want to be seen with you in public now again.
I doubt it.
No.
She's a smart woman. Get a little long.
Yeah?
Hot days, good days.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Smooth as a baby's bottom. Real important right after you do get done shaving too is where you still want to use aftershave balm, but you want to use a really cold towel.
Cold towel?
Yes, a cold towel. Yeah. Yeah, you do.
Wake you up.
Can we just go ahead and do an ice bucket challenge right now while he's laid up like that?
Sure.
Now I know you went to barber school, but I see you brushing his hair out. Do you have your beautician's license also?
He went to,
Absolutely not. But I was a Boy Scout, so I'm going to tie this thing in the very best knot that I can.
he went to,
If you have a smaller home-based business, we are looking for you. Odium Social and Talk Jeff City are having a small business mall on Small Business Saturday, November 26th. This is going to be a huge community event and generate great traffic. End 2016 on a great note and expose your business to a much larger customer base for a great start to 2017. Booths are going fast, so hurry and contact Odium Social today. I'd like everybody to take a few minutes. Brian Stumpe, for his nonprofit that he wanted to highlight this week, he chose the SafetyNet here in Jefferson City. And we put together a little 3-minute video so you can kind of see what the SafetyNet does and what they're all about and some of the fundraising that they have coming up to support that cause. We'd like to thank Brian Stumpe for joining us as our special guest this week. He is also a board member of and chose the SafetyNet of Missouri as his nonprofit organization to highlight this week. It is an incredible organization that provides needed support and financial assistance to the spouses and children of all local law enforcement officers, firefighters, paramedics, EMTs, and correction officers who have lost their lives performing their duty. When most of us go to work or see our family off to work, it is with the expectation that they will return. Although public safety workers would like to think the same, that isn't always the case. They put their lives at risk every time they suit up for work. Current events show the realization of the dangers peace officers face in their work. However, most people don't realize that nationally, 100 firefighters die in the line of duty each year. Medical responders also face dangers when responding to save lives, and correction officers also deal with dangers every day. There are roughly 800 employees in these jobs here in the Jefferson City area, and although the board and our community hopes we never have to use it, it provides solace and peace of mind to the families. If this were to occur, the safety net would provide a $5,000 check within days to help the family. They would then also provide mortgage assistance, health and dental insurance payments, and educational assistance to the children or other assistance approved by the board of directors. Detective Mark Edwards and the rest of the board also want to follow up with these families going forward because, as he says, their family is our family. Even in the face of growing threats and challenges, they continue to respond with characteristic heroism and selflessness. It is impossible to fill the void they leave in society and in their families, but by supporting the SafetyNet of Missouri, you can express your appreciation in a tangible way. Again this year, So Long to Summerfest will be donating all the proceeds from this year's event to the SafetyNet of Missouri. September 16th is the Bostix concert, and September 17th is the Montgomery Gentry concert with special guest Rodney Adkins. Go to www.solongsummermusicfest.com for more information and to purchase tickets. To make a direct charitable donation, you can visit the SafetyNet of Missouri website or drop off a check at the police station or any fire station. Talk Jeff City would like to thank all of these public safety workers for everything that they do every day. We appreciate you. You know, different projects that people want. And the one thing that I think is amazing that started to come back around is people giving private donations for different things and different projects in town. There seems to be a little bit more of that going around.
Yeah. It's a United Way campaign. Every campaign that we have in town, it exceeds the goals. We have an incredibly giving town.
All right, outside of the kids, I know you saw the interview last week with Carrie and so forth.
And you promised me there'd be no singing today from my face, so I'm glad about that.
Well, I did promise no singing, but I mean, you do bring up some questions because I really do want to press you on a couple things, though, because we are friends on Facebook, and I know some of your adventures, and I know recently you bought an accordion.
Yes, I did buy an accordion recently.
So,
do you have one here for me to play?
I don't have one for you to play, but what we want to know is when are we going to start having accordion concerts?
Well, it might be a while. Growing up, my mother had an accordion, and so I learned to play as a small child the accordion from her, and my mother passed away our freshman year of high school, and so I bought that kind of as a tribute to her to learn to play it again and teach my kids to play it. But I didn't realize that the one I bought is much more difficult to play than the one I played as a child. The one I played growing up had 12 keys on the left hand, and this has 120 keys. And so I'm still trying to figure out how to make those things work and sound right.
Oh, okay. Well, and the other thing is, I know we didn't have you bring the accordion, but I kind of wanted to play you a couple things here and see if this is something that you could master or the type of music you could play. And of course now it's going to take me a second to pull it up. I mean, we just want to know what to expect when we come to your accordion show, because we are expecting that at some point in time. I mean, are you to this level right here?
I'm close. I'm real close to this, yeah.
I mean, or are you the more the German beer barrel polka accordion?
Well, I think I'm more the Tchaikovsky kind of accordion player. Like
Tchaikovsky.
So, I noticed this guy, their accents are a bit late when they come in theirs, but they'll get there. They'll catch up with me someday, I believe.
Oh, okay.
So,
hope you all enjoyed the show. Hope you enjoyed listening to Brian Stumpe and I reminisce to childhood in Jefferson City and talk about some of the great things that he's doing down at the prosecutor's office down at the city court. We'll be back next week with another show. We've got some fun stuff planned for you next week, so make sure you tune in.